We're going to talk about 10 common behaviors that, let's be blunt, can often be associated with a lower level of cognitive ability or emotional intelligence. Let's see if any of these ring a bell. At number 10, it's all about not seeing other viewpoints. You know the type. Their opinion is the only one that matters, and they can't seem to grasp that other people have different experiences, feelings, and viewpoints. This isn't just about being stubborn, it's a fundamental lack of cognitive empathy. Smart people can put themselves in someone else's shoes, even if they don't agree. They can understand the why behind another person's stance. When someone is completely incapable of this, it suggests a very rigid and limited way of thinking. They're stuck in their own little world, and anything outside of that is just wrong or irrelevant. It's like their brain's operating system can't run the empathy app. Coming in at number 9 is a strong reliance on logical fallacies. You'll see this pop up in arguments all the time. Instead of using facts, reason, and evidence, they resort to personal attacks, also known as ad hominem arguments. They'll attack your character instead of your point, or they'll use a straw man argument, misrepresenting what you said to make it easier to attack. They might also appeal to popularity, saying, "Well, everyone thinks this way, so it must be true." These are mental shortcuts for people who can't build a strong, logical argument on their own. It's a red flag that they haven't developed the critical thinking skills to analyze information properly and debate effectively. All right, let's move on to number 8. Blaming everyone else for their problems. This is a classic. Nothing is ever their fault. They failed the test because the teacher hates them. They got fired because their boss was unfair. They're late because of traffic every single time. People who consistently refuse to take responsibility show a lack of self-awareness and maturity. Intelligent individuals understand cause and effect. They can reflect on their own actions, identify their mistakes, and learn from them. This process of self-correction is crucial for growth. Constantly pointing the finger at others is a defense mechanism that keeps them stuck in a cycle of failure, never learning, and never improving. At number 7, we have an aggressive reaction to disagreement. You're having a simple conversation, you offer a different opinion, and suddenly it's a full-blown war. They get loud, angry, and defensive. Why? Because for them, an attack on their idea feels like a personal attack on their identity. Their sense of self is so fragile that it's intertwined with their beliefs. A truly intelligent person welcomes debate. They see it as an opportunity to test their ideas, learn something new, and sharpen their own understanding. They don't get angry. They get curious. So, if someone's go-to response is to yell instead of to listen, it's a strong sign they lack the emotional regulation and intellectual confidence to handle a simple challenge. Number 6 on our list is being a know-it-all. This one is particularly frustrating. These are the people who have an answer for everything, even when they clearly don't know what they're talking about. The famous Dunning-Kruger effect is at play here. People with low ability at a task often overestimate their own competence. They lack the self-awareness to recognize their own knowledge gaps. In contrast, some of the smartest people in the world are famous for their humility. Socrates once said, I know nothing." True intelligence isn't about having all the answers. It's about knowing the limits of your knowledge and being willing to admit when you don't know something. The real fools are the ones who are blind to their own ignorance. Halfway through our list at number 5 is a distinct lack of curiosity. Think about it. How do we learn? We ask questions. We explore. We wonder. People who aren't very curious tend to accept things at face value. They don't ask why or how. They're content with a surface-level understanding of the world. This passive approach to life and learning is a huge barrier to intellectual growth. Curious people are constantly feeding their minds. They read, they watch documentaries, they talk to people, they travel. Their world is always expanding. A person with no curiosity is living in a very small, static world, and their intellect is likely to remain just as small and static. Next up at number 4 is the need to be the loudest person in the room. This often ties back to insecurity. They feel the need to dominate every conversation, to constantly talk over others, and to make sure their voice is the only one being heard. It's not about contributing to the conversation, it's about controlling it. They believe that volume equals validity, but as the old saying goes, empty vessels make the most noise. Genuinely smart and confident people don't need to shout. They listen more than they speak. They understand that there's more to learn by absorbing information from others than by broadcasting their own opinions nonstop. They choose their words carefully and make their points with substance, not sound. Our third sign is an obsession with black and white thinking. For these individuals, Everything is either good or bad, right or wrong, with us or against us. There is no middle ground, no complexity, no nuance. This rigid binary way of thinking is a sign of an inability to handle ambiguity and complexity, which are essential parts of reality. Life is messy, issues are complicated. Smart people are comfortable with shades of gray. They can hold two opposing ideas in their mind at the same time and evaluate them. They understand that context matters. This cognitive flexibility allows them to navigate the complexities of the world far more effectively than someone who sees everything in simple, absolute terms. We're getting close to the end. At number 2, we have a total disregard for facts and evidence. In the age of information, this is more apparent than ever. You can present someone with overwhelming data, expert consensus, and verifiable proof, and they will still cling to their baseless belief. This is often driven by confirmation bias. They only seek out and accept information that confirms what they already believe. They dismiss anything that challenges their worldview as fake news or a conspiracy. This rejection of objective reality is a profound intellectual failure. It's a refusal to engage with the world as it is, preferring instead a comfortable, self-constructed fantasy. Intelligence requires a commitment to truth, even when that truth is uncomfortable. And finally, the number one behavior that often signals a lower intelligence is a consistent pattern of poor decision-making that leads to the same negative outcomes. We all make mistakes, but intelligent people learn from them. They don't touch the hot stove a second time. If someone is constantly making the same bad choices in their finances, their relationships, or their career, and seems surprised every time things go wrong, it points to a fundamental inability to learn from experience. They're stuck in a loop, unable to analyze their past actions and change their future behavior. This ability to adapt and learn is perhaps the very essence of practical intelligence. Failing to do so repeatedly is the most telling sign of all. So there you have it, 10 behaviors that can often, and I stress often, be linked to a lower level of cognitive or emotional intelligence. Again, this isn't a diagnostic tool, but an observation of patterns. We should always lead with kindness and remember that everyone is on their own journey. But recognizing these behaviors can help us better understand the people we interact with and navigate our social world a little more wisely. What do you think? Did we miss any? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. If you found this video thought-provoking, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content that makes you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.